Hey guys, it's Misty Eyez, and I'm here with an Ask Misty. It is actually November, which is National Trans Awareness Month, and I'm looking through my Ask Misties for the trend questions, which I surprisingly have several. Alright, here we go. Dear Misty, what is the hardest thing about transitioning? Girl, to completely honest with you, the entire process is hard. And that's why I am not surprised at all. So many girls have de-transitioned. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my whole life. And there are many, many hard things about it. I think the hardest thing in general, for me, for most girls, just all across the board, I think globally, the hardest thing for all trans women is self-acceptance. As females, we beat ourselves up and we beat each other up. The female mindset is a very comparative mindset. Biological and trans women are very negative towards one another. And when you're looking in your face in the mirror, especially in the beginning, and you see it, and it's funny because I still see a man sometimes. Like, I'm looking in the mirror, I have makeup on now, but without no makeup on, and I just see, like, how do people see a girl because I am a man? Now, even, especially after I got my breasticles, sometimes I'm just like, dude, I don't know, it's like, it's a mind warp, it's a mind trip. But the hardest part, I think, for most people is self-acceptance. Loving yourself as a man, as a woman, as a trans person, whichever you are, that is very difficult. Becoming comfortable in your skin. That's probably the hardest thing, I think, most people deal with. The hardest thing for me is coming out to my family. I had no problem coming out to my friends. Well, that's not true. I hid the fact that I was trans for, technically, officially, I've been on hormones for almost 4 years before I 3.5 years before I completely came out as trans. But I had been doing body modifications since 2005. So I took a while before I came out to my friends. But I still haven't really officially come out to all of my family. I wasn't going to tell anyone at all until after my breast implant. And I chickened out and I called two of my sisters. I have four sisters. I called two of my sisters before going under the knife, like a few days before. And like, oh my gosh, like just like nervousness. Like I'm about to drastically change my life, and I don't know, I definitely didn't want them to try to stop me, and they didn't, because they got it and they understood and they actually fully embraced me. I just feel like I wanted somebody else out there to know that this was happening. I guess, maybe. I'm weird. It's official. But coming out to my family in general, like, I have not had a conversation with my mother about it. I know through my brother that she definitely knows, because she's mentioned it to him. Like, did you know Dakota got a breast implant? And my brother's like, oh yeah, I knew. And she's like, what do you think about that? My best friend, Stephen R. Lang, went with me to the hospital with my husband, and he did a little Snapchat story and uploaded that Snapchat story to his Facebook and tagged my Facebook.
Wow, you are getting loopy, girl.
Loopy?
You are getting loopy.
Hey.
Yeah.
Live! Oh, thank you. Surgery is over. That one's very high. I'm very thirsty and cranky. And my aunt, my mom's best friend growing up, married my mom's brother. My Aunt Stacy commented on the videos, like, didn't say anything negative, but was like, Oh my gosh, and Stacey knows. So, coming out to your friends and family is difficult. That's probably one of the most difficult. Well, I don't know. There's so many hard things. Finances is probably the hardest thing for me, to be completely honest with you. That's the thing I'm struggling with the most. I haven't told my family, but I want to be pussy down. That was my goal, to be like woman, and just go to Alaska and be like, hi, woman. And I can't afford FFS right now. It's crazy expensive. So that's truly the hardest part for me, is finances. I think a lot of girls struggle with employment. Transitioning is very, very expensive, and some jobs don't allow you to transition. I mean, obviously, if you are a male worker, you need to be or try to pass off as male as long as possible at work, all while you're getting as much done to yourself emotionally, physically, spiritually, surgically, and then until it's almost too far, like, bitch, you are pussy, coming up in here trying to be all butch. And then if you do get fired, it's easily to transition to go to another job and interview as a woman, not as a, hi, I'm a ugly duckling trans woman trying to pass off as a girl, but I look like a freak. That's not an issue. So employment is a big issue, I think, for a lot of trans people, especially trans women. Trans men, for some reason, it's just really easy for them. They take hormones and bam, they're men. But financial issues and employment is a big, big hurdle. And of course, with financial issues, the entire body modification is a huge hurdle and a struggle for a lot of people because it's expensive. I fortunately have done my body modification stretched out over time. Did my lips in 2005, did my cheekbones in 2005-06, did my hips and ass in 6-7, got my breast implant, or did my laser hair removal in 2012, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Got my breast implant in 2016. I don't know when I can afford my facial feminization, and then I don't know when I can afford my vocal cord feminization. But, yeah, that's the biggest hurdles, I think, for a trans person. Self-acceptance, family, coming out in general, family especially, and then financially related things, body modification, paying your bills, paying for surgeries, and having a job. I fortunately am a drag queen professionally, and they're not going to fire me for being extra pussy. So yeah. That's the hardest thing. But in general, it's just all around hard. It's just all around difficult. It's all around challenging. But becoming your true, authentic self, in my opinion, is the most gratifying thing you can do as a human being. Most people live their entire lives and don't know who they are or what they are or who they're supposed to be. So coming into your true self and your true skin is so enjoyable and so powerful. And that being said, also, to me, being a transsexual or a trans woman is not about passing. A lot of girls are focused on passing. And I say that right after I said, I really, really want FFS. I want FFS so that the risk of me being shot by a hillbilly redneck is slim. Not because I want to pass. I don't think being a trans woman, you should set your goals to being passable. You should set your goals to living your true, authentic life. Granted, I do think that you should, if you can financially afford it, be the best you can be. And a lot of trans women out there don't like to talk about their surgeries. They don't want the world to know that, oh, I have had my teeth bleached, or I have had what do they do to veneer? Sorry, I've had my lips done. They want people to think that they're naturally gorgeous. And I'm like, bitch, you were born a boy. How are you naturally that gorgeous? But they don't want people to know. They just want, oh, I'm just stunning. That's just the way I am. I'm stunning. And I get it. But yes, I do think you should get all the surgeries you can or want. But I think your transition story should be about being your authentic self, which can be difficult and challenging. And some girls turn around and chicken out because it's not easy, especially if you rush into it. I think the way I did it was really smart. I took my time before telling the entire world, hey, everyone, I'm a woman. I see girls every day that they start living as women before they even take one hormone pill. And I think that makes it extra challenging for them because now they're trying to pass without the assistance of hormone replacement therapy or even surgery or silicone or laser hair removal or anything. And that's got to be challenging. I don't think I could pass in the daytime without having laser hair removal. Anyways, it's all challenging. There you go. Loving you is easy. Bye.